Hello, I'm here with the cockpit kit for the ESM KI-84 offered by VQ Models. When I did this cockpit kit, it has the basic. I tried to make it as easy as I could. It has the cockpit sides and the floor all as one piece. The instrument panel, you got your headrest. It's got a resin gun sight. It also has a couple other pieces that go inside the cockpit itself. You have to put together, then install. Anyway, I made this where it will go inside and glue up to the sides of the fuselage to make it pretty easy. Anyway, when you first pick it up and get started, you need to take and cut it out basically. And then come in here, and what I use, I have a wide piece of wide pliers, and I just crimp this, and this allows it to fold up. Then I go in here, and I come down the way I installed it, so it just clears the control rods. I come down from the top with 5/8 of an inch and draw a line on both sides, and we'll cut that out. I try to leave as much of the angle here as you can, because that gives you a little bit more rigidity. But you do have to come in here and relieve a little bit so it'll fit on the sides. And you can do that at a later time after you get it all painted, just so it will slide up on the sides. Anyway, you can get that painted, and well, before you need to paint that, these are two mixture controls. It didn't show in the diagram what they were for, but they were in the documentation I was using. They had control handles on them. You need to cut them out around. They will go on the fuselage sides, on the cockpit floor. I'll show you where that goes. There's also a console. It's set upright. It was freestanding. It has a top that you have to cut out. You cut it very close all the way around to where it's flat. It doesn't have any sides, and that will glue to the top of this here, and it will be put onto the fuselage cockpit floor. Also, I have rudder pedals. When you get it, it will come like that. You have to relieve it all the way around until it has flat sides, and actually fit it to where it has a lip here in the front. I mean, that's on there. You just have to relieve the plastic on the sides, and this glues right on the rudder control on each side, and you can change how you want it to sit on there and just glue it in place. I also have a seat. You can see here marked in black lines what has to be removed. It did have a top that come around, so you just barely cut that around there. The seat, this is the pedestal for the seat. The seat would be glued directly to that pedestal at a later time. The cockpit, the instrument panel, I leave as much as you can around sides. It gives it rigidity, but you need to come up here along the top and relieve all but a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. This will slide up into what we're going to make on the fuselage and install that shortly. The resin gun sight, it's going to have a little stand on the bottom. You just have to cut that and sand it off flush. It should be solid. It'll sand off. There will be enough plastic in there to make you 2 lenses. The first lens is glued after you get it all painted. You come here and glue the first lens back at the angle on the front, and then there'll be a second lens that you'll glue at a 90 degree to this front here. Let's see if you can see. Here's the one I have completed, and that will fit up there on the dash. The headrest, you have to cut it out, and then you have to relieve barely, just a little bit at a curve, front and back. This is so it sits. This is the finished one, so it sits on the fuselage. You can't pull that into the mold itself, because it just won't leave it. So you just have to make sure it just barely contours to sit down on top of the cockpit. Then you have the pad for the headrest. You have to cut it out, remove everything all the way up to the sides, paint it, and glue it in place on the front. That's the completed product there. As far as the cockpit goes, you can see where the standalone control panel went here. The larger of the two mixture controls went on this side, the smaller one on this side. You just paint these up to whatever color you want. They were, on the documentation I had, they were gray. The greens kind of varied. This is the only green I had on hand to put the cockpit kit together. Also, the dash. The dash was the instrument panel was hanging out there, and it was pretty much open behind it. We didn't want to see the bulkhead in front, so I painted it flat black and then came back with the gray. There will be instruments provided with the kit. I was going to show you real quick. The easiest way to cut these out, if you don't want to take forever with a pair of scissors, is come here and take you two pieces of, this is a 1/4 inch brass, and this is 11/32. If you'll come in here and take a deburr tool or a countersink tool and sharpen that up on the inside, and all you do is set it down over, put this in your drill, and you get it real nice and sharp, and set it down on there, and just you have to be really careful and start turning it. Put this on a piece of balsa first, so it'll go through pretty easy, and you can cut out perfect circles, and then they'll fit right down. They'll fit right down into the holes perfectly, and I just glue those in place with some Elmer's white glue. It'll be fine. Let's see here. That pretty much shows the basic putting it together. You will have a joystick out of resin also, and let's see, one other thing I want to show you, the handles. You can see how I made the handles here with used a pin with the round tops, and I made the handles by taking a piece of aluminum tube, which will be supplied, and you cut it to various lengths, whatever length you're looking for. You can see I've got some very short ones and some longer ones. All you do is cut that tube to your length you want, slide the pin down through it, and take and push that through wherever you want to put it, and then put your glue on the back, and you put your glue here, and then you can paint your top of this to whatever color that you prefer for that. Anyway, that kind of quickly goes over how I put it together. I'm gonna stop here because of limited time, and I'll have another video that shows you how I put it inside the fuselage itself.